Hey guys, it's Destiny, back with another video, and you're watching the Decimania channel on YouTube. And let me tell you, I haven't been this nervous. I haven't been this nervous to do a video since the Benoit tragedy stuff that I did back in 2021, 2022, whenever it was. I might be even more nervous to do this. Because unlike the Benoit tragedy, I was not following this. Or I was, hold on. Unlike the Benoit tragedy, which I wasn't following at the time of its occurrence, this is very disturbing. And this stuff's not going away either. By now, I'm sure a lot of you that are subscribed to my channel, I don't know how many of you are younger. So if you are younger, if you are a minor, per se, I would recommend not watching this video. And that goes for anybody who is going through stuff like this. I'm not going to go into any graphic details in this because I honestly don't know what I'm allowed to say. When it comes to YouTube guidelines and freaking copyright crap, I don't want to get in trouble because I'm a growing channel, and the last thing I need is to get thrown off of here. So we're going to talk about the gory details as little as possible, where I'm going to indicate things. I'm mainly going to be talking about him resigning and the stuff with Brock and what is probably going to come out afterward and just the cause and effect of all this. I'm gonna try to not go into any gruesome details because this just about made me throw up when I read it, and there's more. There's more that has come out since then. This story is about a week old and we're already getting more. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is more. So to start with this, we have to go back into 2022, which was when all this started. When the first story broke, I don't remember what day, it was sometime in June. June 6th, June 5th, something like that, I don't remember. The Wall Street Journal received an email from Stephanie McMahon, I believe. Stephanie was the one that sent it. That Vince McMahon had been paying several $1 million of hush money to several women to keep them quiet about things that he had done to them, allegedly. That much we knew, and he ultimately retired or resigned or whatever you call it in 2022 in July. He was gone for about 6 months, and he felt that he had been given bad advice to step down, so he forced his way back in. He told everyone in WWE, "You're not making a deal, you're not selling this company if I'm not there." So they had to let him back in. And Stephanie got the frick out of there. It's bad when you're the daughter of maybe the most important person in wrestling, or in WWE anyway, and you want nothing to do with him. Here's this guy that has millions of dollars and is supposed to be praised and lavished and all this other stuff. You know, people in that company working to please him, and he's doing this to them. Some of the stuff that came out in Janelle Grant's lawsuit, that's her name for those of you that haven't been keeping up with this, that filed the latest lawsuit. The only difference, well, first of all, she's one of the first ones to come out. I believe Rita Chatterton did. Second of all, this is different than any of the other ones that we've heard so far, because now there are specifics. Text messages, pictures, which I'm not going to be showing you, because I don't have it right in front of me, and I can't exactly do that right now. I don't know how to show you stuff on screen. It's disgusting. There was accusations from Janelle Grant about physical abuse, emotional abuse, indications that he wanted to see. I don't know how to say this without getting in trouble. Like, physically brutalizing her. I don't know. Is that a good way to put that? I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and not say on here. I really ain't. I don't know. I don't like talking about this kind of thing, but it's, gives my channel more content. I don't like talking about this, but it's, as a YouTuber, you've got to, naturally you want to come up and create content about this. The reason I didn't last week is because I wanted to focus solely on the Royal Rumble. And we're going to be talking about Brock Lesnar in a little bit too. Now, there is this lawsuit, this latest one, is 67 pages. I haven't read the whole thing myself, but from what I've heard other people read of it, they've only been able to make it through a couple pages, and it was a lot in those couple pages. People are saying that doesn't even scratch the surface of how disgusting some of this stuff is. And this didn't just involve Vince McMahon, it involved multiple people getting pictures, explicit pictures, text messages. It was alleged that Brock wasn't, I don't think he was mentioned by name, per se, but he was referenced. So, like, the Brock Lesnar allegations, or accusations, whatever you want to call them, they're not as clear-cut as this. Like, there's not really many details. We're not too sure about the Brock Lesnar stuff. So them erasing him from the video game and all that stuff, that may very well be temporary. Even if Brock didn't do anything, it's still a bad look for him. if Vince did supposedly show him these pictures. This is the difference between then and 2022, or now and 2022. It's specific details. It's more graphic. It's more... I'm sure by now you guys know what I'm talking about that he allegedly did. That kind of thing is not okay. In the workplace, or, and people are going to be saying, well, why didn't she just stop it? She could have stopped it. She could have just said no. You don't understand. When people like Vince, who are in a very high position of power in a company or a business, is threatening your job if you do not do these kinds of things, especially with people like Janelle, who apparently lost her parents in 2019 and didn't have a lot of money, or whatever the case may be. That's the kind of women that Vince and people like him love to do this sort of thing to. It's disgusting, and it's too repulsive for me to even mention some of the stuff that happened. But apparently there was multiple people. There was physical abuse. Apparently he choked her at one point and would bruise her with objects. The kind of objects that people use in private. And he would forcibly use them on her, from what we read in this, allegedly. And he would send explicit text messages to her saying, if you don't do this, you'll be fired, and, he was showing this stuff allegedly to Brock Lesnar. That's what... Brock Lesnar. Brock freaking Lesnar. The last person that I honestly expected to be part of something like this. And, maybe it's just... maybe we come to find out that Vince set Brock up or something. I don't know. I'm not sure about any of this. I don't really know what to think of this, other than it's disgusting. And he resigned last Friday. You guys probably saw it on my YouTube community page. I posted it on Facebook after I was sure that it was true. Because, you'll read something and then you'll come to find out, oh, it's not true. Yeah, guys, he's gone. And unlike last time, where he forced his way back into the company and bullied his way back in, he can't do that this time. Oh, and not only this, I don't know when the story broke exactly. I first found out today. But apparently it's getting worse. Federal investigation. This is bad. Now they're getting the federal government involved, or federal police, or whatever it may be, something's got to give. Something's got to give. If they get a hold of his phone and find stuff, oh, what's he gonna do? Try to delete it? Oh, don't forget. Even if he does delete that stuff, you can still go back and through the archives and get that stuff somehow, I think. It's on Janelle Grant's phone. She allegedly received texts from him. Explicit, specific text messages. Talking down to her and abusing her and threatening her, pressuring her. And apparently more victims have contacted her and said that they want to speak out. This is bad for him. But you know what? He had it coming. You know, there's always, innocent until proven guilty. But when you hear so many different stories from so many different people, so many of the same type of, oh yeah, Vince did this type of thing, you start to wonder, somebody ain't lying. Somebody's got to be telling the truth. And if any of this is true, if even if he didn't do anything, but he was telling her to send him pictures for Brock or whatever, even if he did that, there's a very good chance he is going to prison. Am I not wrong? Am I right? That's what I thought. He can't force himself back into the company like he did last time. And I've heard people also say I wasn't even going to touch on this, but why Cody Rhodes was asked about this at the Royal Rumble, I have no freaking idea. Cody Rhodes has not... Leave Cody out of this. Leave Cody Rhodes out of this. Cody Rhodes didn't do a darn thing to anybody that we know of. Why are you asking Cody? You should have been asking him about his Royal Rumble win. Which I'm sure they did. I didn't watch the press conference or anything. I saw clips of it where Triple H and Cody were asked about it. And if you want my opinion on it, on the Triple H handling of it, what more did you expect him to do? Do you want him to just bury Vince and be like, screw Vince? He had to act professional. Allegedly he didn't read the reports until, he hasn't read the lawsuits himself, that he found out when everybody else did, and that's what Cody kind of said. But, why ask Cody Rhodes? That's my question. I don't understand. If somebody wants to hit me up with that in the comments, they can feel free to. And that's another thing, too, guys. Don't be shaming any of these victims. You don't know what they went through. Everyone's situation is different. But unless you have... I've never been through it, but I'm just saying, as a person who, cares about other people and their well-being, don't be shaming any of these people. You don't know what they went through. Not unless you've been through it yourself. For all we know, she said no, and supposedly she said no a couple times. And he still went through with it. This is bad for him. Supposedly he had a bad childhood and no one likes to talk about, but that does not excuse any of this. He needs help. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is not well. He needs psychological help. And he thinks it's still okay to come back into your company after the first slew of NDAs came out. Or reports about the NDAs and hush money payments came out. He still thinks that it's okay for him to be there. No, you need to go. You need to be done. And I think he is. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. Oh no, we're not done. This ain't just gonna go away, guys. I don't know, guys. Who knows? I might be up here for something even worse in a couple days. You never know. Again, I hate talking about this, but this gives more content to my channel, and I'm not trying to make money off of this. I'm not even at that point. I'm not trying to get publicity. I'm just giving what we know so far. Not speculating anything, but we just don't know for sure. Again, the Brock Lesnar stuff doesn't seem... That's not really a surefire thing yet. But he was removed from the video game, the new one. He didn't work Royal Rumble, apparently. Reports were saying that he was supposed to work with Dominic at the Elimination Chamber. Why would that wouldn't make any sense? I don't know. I don't know, but either way, doesn't mean we won't see Brock Lesnar ever again, but we might not see Brock Lesnar for a while. And this is after his match with Cody Rhodes. That sucks. That sucks. Now, if we come to find out that he was indeed involved, even more than we are being told, or that it's being reported, if he did do something more than just look at the pictures and reply, oh, I like what I see. Because apparently he did text her that, allegedly. That's what the reports are saying in the lawsuit. Think of all the... I remember when Brock came back. In 2012, I was watching it. I was at home watching it. It was the night after WrestleMania, and, Rock was there, and Cena was calling out The Rock to congratulate him, and Brock came out, and think of all the stuff that we've seen him in so far, or since then. Triple H, and that awesome feud that he had with Cody last year. A lot of people didn't like it. I didn't like it at first, but I grew to enjoy it. The last match at SummerSlam was their best one that they had. And now for Cody to be linked to something like that is bad. Because they're trying to make Cody the face of the company. And, you don't want that. You don't want to be associated with that, I would think. And then him beating Kofi Kingston in 8 seconds. Kofi Kingston doesn't deserve this. all the people that are they're not only are there women that Vince supposedly did this to that are victims, but there are victims of circumstance in this company. People that have had matches with Brock or anything to do with Brock now are going to be questioning, like, what the frick did this? What is this? That sucks, because I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. And I find myself losing a little bit of respect for him because of the stuff that's being said and being referenced. And I hope that that's just a reference and not, but supposedly there is text messages from Brock Lesnar to her that indicated that he liked what he saw, that he gave her. This was all done so Vince could sign Brock to the company again, supposedly. Again, we're not sure that he participated in any of the physical activity, but that's just as bad. Not nearly as bad, but it's still bad. It's still bad. I don't even know what to freaking say. I like Brock Lesnar. I do. I like Brock's work. But, when you hear stuff like this, it's just... this makes Hulk Hogan look like a truthful, honest, sensitive, and he may be that now. He might have changed. But that makes Hogan look almost normal. This stuff makes Hulk Hogan look like an honest man. Some of the stuff that Hogan did wasn't nearly as bad as this that we've heard about. I don't even know what else to say. I like Brock Lesnar. This is. I'm kind of feeling what you guys are with the way that some of us, not me necessarily, because I didn't follow it, like I said. But those of you that were following the Benoit tragedy in 2007 and going back and watching some of his stuff and it makes you uncomfortable, I kind of get how you guys feel now. Because I watched a couple of Brock Lesnar matches the other night and I was just kind of like, ugh. But again, nothing is set in stone. They're just getting rid of him for now. This is what the reports allege. This is what's been said. But when you hear stuff like that, I don't know. I've never pictured Brock doing anything like that. But then again, I haven't been around long enough. Then some people maybe subscribe to this channel. So maybe you guys have heard more stuff. I don't know. I'm just giving my take on it. I'm looking at it from a young person's perspective. So bear with me if I sound kind of hesitant in some of this, especially with the Brock stuff. I don't want to believe that of Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Brock Lesnar's not a people person. That doesn't mean anything. We just don't know. We just don't know with some of these people. I hope that that's all that came out about him, and it's still bad if it is, but I hope we don't find out that he did something worse. I know Greg Morgan from Good Mic Work Commentaries. Go check his channel out if you haven't. He posted something on Twitter a little bit ago, or maybe yesterday, I don't remember. And I kind of agree with this. That the Mr. McMahon character that Vince played on TV almost seems like a better person than Vince McMahon himself. The character that Vince played on television is relatively toned down. Like, and CM Punk, and not just Punk, but a lot of people have exposed him over the years. You know, the stuff about, Punk getting fired on his wedding day and stuff like that, that sounds like something that the Mr. McMahon character would do. And yeah, while Punk getting fired on his wedding day was suckish, that was not nearly as bad as this. I'm sorry, but it just wasn't. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that. You don't have to hate, you don't have to like CM Punk, you don't even have to hate, or you don't even have to, say what you want about him. But if you're defending Vince McMahon in any of this, guess what? I'm just going to say this right now. And I'm being straight up honest. That makes you just as bad. Even if you're sitting there at home, behind your keyboard, or your Twitter, or your Facebook, or whatever you're on, even if you're not in the wrestling business, and you're sitting there going, hey, that's Vince McMahon, guess what? You're just as bad. Yeah, the people that sit there and like this crap, that they're, I'm getting information because I want to, not because I'm a freaking sick person, because I need to know as much as I can without freaking throwing up to tell you guys. And I didn't even go into any explicit details of what happened. But it's bad. I don't want to risk making any of you guys sick or getting thrown off YouTube for that matter. Like I said, if you have gone through this, there is help. I don't know any of the numbers off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are numbers. You don't even have to call a number. Call, tell your teacher, tell your, whoever you trust, if you're going through something like this. And yeah, apparently more victims are coming out. Oh, we haven't even... John Laurinaitis was apparently involved in this too. Yeah, guys, there's more. He denies, and he claims that he was a victim of Vince also. Yeah, that's very I'm sorry, but that's very laughable. Because we've heard so many stories about him over the years too. Giving in to anything that Vince wanted and participating in a lot of this stuff. People have said that he's a freaking creep. Rick, I feel bad for Daniel Bryan because he's kind of related to this guy. Yeah, Brie Bella is the daughter-in-law of John Laurinaitis. Or Brie Garcia. The brother of the famous Road Warrior Animal. One of the greatest tag teams of all time is in this too. I can only imagine what he would think if he was still alive. Not only that, but Vince's family. Shane. There's been random reports, or people have said that Shane has distanced himself from him, that he is opposed to this type of behavior from him. I don't blame him. Shane seems like a very likable guy from what I've heard from people. Never met the guy myself, but I don't want to meet Vince McMahon. If he got me freaking tickets to a Metallica concert or tickets to WrestleMania or a Green Day concert, I still would not freaking trust him. He's sick, and he needs to go. This better be the last time that he resigns, and he better stay gone. The next video that I want to have to make about Vince is that he's either in jail or prison, or that he's passed away. And no, I'm not wishing death on the man, even if he is sick. But then again, people like him, the world is better without. It's people like him that make people, especially women, feel unsafe. And yeah, I'm sure when he dies, I'll come up here and talk about, what a great character. I'll talk about the Mr. McMahon character. We can sit here and talk about the Mr. McMahon character on TV and all the stuff that he did for the wrestling business. Fine. You can respect that. But it's going to be hard to do that now, knowing what we know. And some of those storylines with Trish Stratus and Stephanie are very different. Hit very different looking back. And I always thought there was something up with him, but this just confirms it. This man had a match with his own daughter on pay-per-view 6 days before her wedding. Oh no, you don't believe me? Go back and watch, if you have the Vince McMahon DVD, and I'm not promoting this, I'm not doing this to promote it, although it actually really is a good DVD, I will say that, it is a good DVD, but if you don't believe me, it's on that DVD, and go watch it on the network. If you don't believe me, actually, you might not want to watch it, it's disturbing, but if you don't believe me and you want to see for yourself, it's there, but it just, it's like a documentary, not gonna lie, but, it's just, Kurt Angle even said something, too, on that DVD, that I forgot to mention when I reviewed it, because I reviewed it back in 2022, feel free to go back and watch that if you would like. I don't know if I would. Kurt Angle basically said, look, you can't write a full book on Vince McMahon because you can't get in his head. Ain't that the freaking truth, Kurt? I don't know, guys. It's been a freaking crazy couple weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come out. But yeah, you guys can probably guess from the context that I gave you what happened. Or if you already know, good for you, because I wasn't going to explain that. I'm sorry. If you want to go read that stuff, go read it yourselves. It's public. It's on the Wall Street Journal. So if you want to go check out the lawsuit, I probably won't be, but what I've heard people read of it is all I need to know. It's disgusting. It's repulsive. It's sick. And I'm gonna I'm gonna agree with Eric Bischoff on something. Bischoff talked about it on his podcast, the 83 Weeks podcast. And that's frick. I know a lot of people don't like Eric Bischoff, and I don't to an extent, but you know what? I'll take Eric Bischoff over Vince. Even Paul Heyman. And yeah, Paul Heyman did some scummy stuff. They all have. But not nearly as bad. But I feel like there's going to be some more bombs dropped in the next couple weeks, guys. Maybe in the next couple months. Even days. This ain't going to go away, guys. It's not going to die down. It shouldn't die down until he is either in jail, in prison, or like I said, deceased. And no, I am not wishing him dead. But, I think people in that company are going to be relieved when he can no longer have anything to do with that company. They're trying to distance himself from them, or from him, and that's good. They need to distance themselves from him. They need to get rid of anybody that is associated with him. I'm not saying get rid of Undertaker or Stone Cold or people like that, but I'm talking about people that were closely, that were physically involved in it. Jeez, imagine that. Something like Austin or Taker or somebody new. That would suck. Undertaker can't be approving of it. I think he's a Christian now. Is he? I don't know if he's always been, but I think he said something about it a couple years ago. But that's my take on the Vince McMahon stuff. I don't really have any more to say about this other than that it's just, I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. The more people come out and speak on this, the more of his victims the more that his alleged victims come out and speak about this, the worse it's going to be for him and that company. So they needed to drop him, and they did the right thing. They got rid of him. They got rid of Kevin Dunn. They got rid of John Laurinaitis. Now we just need to get rid of Bruce Pritchard. Brick. And if Brock was involved, then yeah, get rid of him too. That goes for anybody. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Thank you guys for sitting through this with me. It's very hard to get through. I'll come up with something positive on Sunday or Saturday or something. Maybe next week. Maybe next week's podcast will be better. Also, maybe we'll do a DVD review. Maybe we'll review, like, Rey Mysterio DVD or something. Because I have another one. But, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. You guys know the deal. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, comment down below, comment on all my other videos too if you would like, please. And let me know what you guys think of this stuff. And I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday with something. I don't know, you'll see me at some point in the next couple days. Check out my TNA review from last night too, it was really good. It's kind of quick, but it was fine. I'll see y'all later. Peace.